in which it recommends increasing funding to all the people who fund the GPMB and the World Bank and the World Health Organization. I wanted to have a closer look at one of those reports. So I opened up to the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, and it dawned on me, Johns Hopkins is the organization who put on Event 201. The Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, in partnership with the World Economic Forum and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, hosted Event 201, a high-level pandemic planning exercise on October 18th, 2019. What? And wait a second. This report from the GPMB came out in September 2019. And October, they held the pandemic planning exercise. Now remember I told you it's good to remember Tim Evans was thanked particularly by the Global Preparedness Monitoring Board he used to work at the World Bank? Okay, there's Tim right there. Tim also appeared at Event 201. We're not going to get into his background right now. What I want to do instead is play you a clip of Tim speaking as a panelist at the Event 201.
Everybody gets excited around a table like this in the moment, and then you move on, and it's back to business as usual. And it's this panic and neglect problem that we have, which is very difficult to prospectively develop real preparedness. So I think there should be somewhere, maybe it's out of the GPMB, and a number of people here are the Global Preparedness Monitoring Board.
The GPMB is the World Health Organization and World Bank. When the public hears it, they're not going to think, oh, that's the World Health Organization again? That's the World Bank again? It's a front organization.
There should be a time-bound plan with very clear targets with respect to what would constitute a new level of global preparedness. And we should look at what's required to get that financed, but that it has some real accountability to agents that lie behind or are advocating for stronger global governance.
What was his main point? We need to get that financed.
To get that financed,
he said. He laments the fact that they do these planning things, but because there's never pandemics, people don't tend to follow through on their funding. So they need something that's going to get this financed for once, he says, right? In October 2019, Tim Evans of the World Bank, that was his main concern. And you saw that Bill and Melinda Gates were sponsors of that project, Event 201, and all the reports that went into it. This writer on May 2nd wonders why Bill Gates is denying Event 201. Now, it's not like Bill Gates was asked about Event 201 and then said, no, I know nothing about this, it never happened. But what he did say was, on April 12th, 2020, Bill Gates said in an interview to the BBC, quote, "Now here we are. We didn't simulate this. We didn't practice. So both the health policies and economic policies, we find ourselves in uncharted territory." Which is not true. Because Event 201 was very extensive and it focused very much on economics, financing. But what it really, really focused on, if you watched it, if you've seen my videos and others, you'll know, was controlling the message. It wanted to flood the zone with their own propaganda.
A couple of strategies that are available to us, one of which is the flood strategies.
And flooding good information.
Flood the zone.
Flood.
A manifestation of flood.
Flood good information.
Flood the zone.
And what have we seen? We've seen non-stop coronavirus messaging everywhere. They're all